Good morning, everybody. Jay's Vapes here. Today, I want to talk about, are you new to vaping? You know, just a quick video to talk about, you know, tips and tricks, a few things you might need to know if you're new to vaping or if you want to get into vaping. We're going to talk about that right after this. So what is up, everybody? Today we're going to do a little bit of vaping. We're going to do a little bit of talking about new vapors, a few tips and tricks for you. If you want to get into vaping, and you got a few questions, I'm going to try to answer as many that I can think of. If I miss anything in this video, please go down in the comments, and ask me. If there's something you want to know that I didn't include, please ask me in the comments. I promise you I will respond, in the best way possible that I can. First thing, you want to quit smoking and you want to get into vaping. I know it's hard, but you can do it. I promise you can do it. And once you make the switch and you make that week or two, without smoking, you're going to be hooked. You're going to love it. You're going to enjoy it so much better than you did them nasty cigarettes or dipping or whatever it is that you want to get away from. The easiest way, I believe, to do it as of now is these new pod systems, these new, all-in-one systems, either they're refillable pods or they're disposable pods. I believe that's the best way to transition from smoking to vaping, because they don't put off a lot of vapor. It ain't like this and just chucking clouds everywhere. They don't put off a lot of vapor, but a lot of them have nicotine salts. And these nicotine salts are a lot higher percentage of nicotine. And, you may not be getting a lot of clouds, but it's going to give you that fix you're looking for. A couple hits off of that, and you're going to be feeling right. Some of them, like I said, some of them come with refillable pods, which they come with a refillable pod. That means you can put your own e-juice in there. You find your flavor that you like, you fill that little dude up, put it in there, and vape on it. Most of them, no buttons, no nothing. They're draw activated. All you do is draw on them and vape it. Some of them come with disposables. You're going to have to buy the little disposables, the flavors. Once they're gone, pull that pod out, you throw it away, put another one in. It's real simple. I believe it's a real easy way to transition from smoking to vaping. E-juice flavors, the hardest thing is to pick, I believe for me, is to find a juice that you really like. I do e-juice reviews, I do a video every day. So maybe subscribe to my channel. Maybe you'll see a juice that you like. I'm just saying, I appreciate it if you subscribe. The next thing would be if you decide to go with a tank. It's a starter kit. If you don't want to start out, you think, I don't need that little pod system. I can handle a regular startup kit. There's so many to choose from. You go in any one of your vape shops, and they got so many starter kits to choose from. They're going to be something like this. And I'm not saying this one, but something like this. You're going to have a mod. It's going to be a regulated mod. You control your wattage up and down. Change the settings. It's not hard. It's not hard to figure out. They've got all kind of settings in these things. I'm not going to get into that. All you need to worry about is your wattage. You want to start off small. This cool says it do 100 watts. Don't crank that dude up to no 100 watts. You just starting out. Start out small. Don't try to grab your buddy's vape and hit it where he's hitting it at 100 watts, because it's going to choke you. You ain't going to like it. It's going to turn you off, and you're going to say, forget vaping. Starter kits, they're all going to come with the mod. Some of them going to come with rechargeable batteries that are already in the mod, or some you have to buy batteries for. Your rechargeable batteries, the mods that include the batteries already in them, just look at the battery life on that beforehand, because if you get one that ain't got a real big battery life on it, it's not going to last you all day. It's just not, it's not gonna last all day. It's gonna die on you. I recommend buying one that you had to buy batteries for. You can recharge them batteries, throw them in there. They're gonna last you all day. Yeah, to me, that's the best way to go. Most of them gonna take batteries anyway. They're gonna come with a sub-ohm tank. You know, they all gonna come with some kind of sub-ohm tank. This one is a Smok Prince TFV12. It's a little bit on the bigger side. You know, I wouldn't say this is a beginner's type vape. This is more high wattage. I like this Wismec Relo RX2. It's been one of my favorite mods. It ain't failed me yet. Tanks are real easy to use. You know, they come with a coil. The coil screws out. You screw a new one in. You put a couple drops of juice on there, wick it up. Put your tank back together. Filling them's easy. You know, they're all going to open something similar to this. Some of them are going to unscrew. Some are going to flip over. Some going to pop up. They all going to feel something real similar to this. You got that little kidney-shaped hole. You pop your juice down in there, fill it up. Let it wick up. Let that tank wick up about 10 minutes. Don't put that juice in there and then try to take a hit of it. It's gonna burn that coil. It's gonna taste terrible. Just let it wick up. Just let it sit there. And about 10 minutes. When you first start vaping on them, all these coils have recommended wattage range. Don't start at the high end. Always start at the low end. Start at the low end of that recommended coil range. Take a few hits. Start bumping it up if you feel comfortable. If you feel like it's just not getting it for me, start bumping it up. You know, if you can handle it, just keep bumping it up till you finally get to that, you know, recommended range, and you're gonna get your best flavor, your best cloud production. You know, batteries is another thing I want to talk about. You know, you really need to make sure that you're buying the right type of batteries. You know, most of these mods that you have to buy batteries for are all going to be 18650s. They're going to look something like this. These are one of my favorite batteries, Ohm Life. Good batteries, haven't failed me yet. You know, they're made for vaping. You know, don't go out there and buy camera batteries or computer batteries or whatever it is. I know they sell 18650s for other devices. Make sure they're made for vaping. Your vape shop is more than likely going to carry, you know, vaping batteries. So make sure you use good batteries. Don't always inspect your batteries before you put them in there. You know, make sure the wraps is not tore up. Make sure the battery's in good condition. You never want to use a bad battery, you know, because that's when you run into problems. I don't know anything about batteries exploding or nothing like that. I just know they always warn you to make sure them wraps are good. Next thing, once you get once you get into vaping, you know, you start exploring new things, start trying new flavors, new tanks, new setups. It's pretty obsessive. I mean, I'm pretty obsessed with it. I love vaping. You know, I wish I had the money to go out there every week and buy a new mod, you know, new tanks. I just ain't got it. But I got plenty of juice. And plenty of reviews to come in the future. You know, the next thing is going to be RDAs. RDAs, RTAs, squonk mods. This is my Pulse BF squonk mod. I went from the Dead Rabbit, which is a RDA, and these are rebuildable atomizers, rebuildable dripper atomizers. That's where you can rebuild the coils yourself, rebuild the cotton, re-wick the cotton anytime you need to. You're gonna drip it directly on the coils and vape it. That is where you get into your full flavor. You know, these RDAs, you know, if you can get into them, if you can learn how to build them, I mean, man, the flavor is great off of these. Out of the sub-ohm tanks, the flavor for me has always been muted. It's always been muted out of the tanks. Out of the RDAs, it's just so much better. So I got into that, but the problem for me was just constantly dripping on there. And that's where I come into the Squonk mod. This is a Squonk mod. This is the Pulse BF box mod kit with the Pulse 24 RDA. I am in love with this thing. Squonking is bottom fed. Instead of dripping on the top, you push that bottle right there and it squeezes juice up in that RDA. Keep your cotton wicked up all the time. And that's another great thing. I know it's not for newbies, so I probably shouldn't even talk about it in this video, but I just want to include it just so you know all your options. You know, RDAs with tanks, you know, cools are going to burn out, people. These juices are so sweet. They got all these artificial sweeteners in them, you know, and cools are going to burn out. You know, people bitch and complain all the time about, oh, my cools didn't last a week. They ain't last this. They ain't last that. They're going to burn out, people. You know, you just have to take it out and put you another one in there. If you get sick of doing that, then get into RDAs. Because an RDA, you know, when that cotton starts getting nasty, all you got to do is pull it out and pop some more cotton in there. You're good to go. Another thing, I should have talked about this earlier. I want to talk about, you know, what is in e-juice. You know, just what all is in e-juice, because that's a big question a lot of people ask. I should have said this earlier before I start talking about RDAs and all that good stuff. There ain't nothing in that e-juice but vegetable glycerin, propylene glycol. You know, you got your artificial flavors and your artificial sweeteners. Now, some companies don't even have artificial sweeteners, but you know, most of the ones do. The ones I like do. I like my flavors sweet. That's all it is. Simple ingredients. You know, most of the ingredients are found in everyday food that you eat. You know, it ain't nothing, you know, there ain't nothing in there toxic. There ain't nothing in there that's going to kill you. You know, nicotine is probably, you know, the worst thing in there. You know, and it's better than smoking, people. I'm not going to say vaping is healthy. I ain't never going to say that. I'm never going to sit here and tell you that vaping is healthy. But it is so much better for you than smoking. So that's it, people. This video is getting too long. If I left out anything, please go down in the comments. Let me know. I promise you I will answer back. I'll help you in the best way that I can. Let me know what y'all are vaping on. Let me know how you like it. You know, if you need any, you know, recommendations for a setup, I'll be glad to show you a few things, you know, suggest a few devices that I think will be good for you. Come back tomorrow. We're going to have a new video. We'll do a juice review tomorrow. Maybe another vaping topic. Please like, comment, subscribe. You can subscribe by clicking this button right here. Go on, click it. Click it. You look at my previous video down here. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Goodbye.